What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is my review of the MJX X400. And this is the quad here. Pretty sleek looking quad. This thing looks beautiful. I really like the way the body is. The design of it is really awesome. The transmitter looks awesome. But I just have to say that I was disappointed with this quad. I got this quad thinking that this was going to be a really sporty flyer for experts and intermediates and beginners as well. And I've just found that this is probably just a beginner's quad, and it'll probably be okay for intermediate flyers, but I think that they will probably want to move on to something a little more responsive. The problem with this quad is it's not really responsive. It's not that responsive on the controls. I found that it seems like they tried to smoothen it out. I had another quad that flew similar to this. It's the JJRC Super Scorpio. The is it the F182? I want to say, yeah, the F182. It flies similar to this with the. It seems like it has some kind of smoothing out of the pitch and roll. When you give full input, it don't go right into it. It's not twitchy as some people would say. It's more smooth. So when you get full input on the right stick, it instead of just reacting to the input right away, it'll sort of transition into the input that way, into the pitch. So right away, it's not reacting strong enough to the inputs that you're giving it. So if you're about to hit something and you have to hit the roll to one direction, and you're really about to hit something, it'll take its sweet time and transition into it that way. So now the JJRC or the DFD F182 that I had, the Super Scorpio, it did that, but the pitch was a lot deeper than this. So it seemed to work out a little better because the pitches were deep. It would do it faster, but this thing takes its sweet time to turn. So a lot of times when you're flying it outdoors, you're gonna find that you're flying towards trees or you're heading towards an obstacle that you want to avoid. And when you hit the input, it's going to take its sweet time. You might hit it the first time before you realize that you actually have to give input a little early with this. And then the roll isn't that deep either. The pitch on the roll. And I'm thinking that the pitch on forward flight isn't that deep either, but because this thing is so flat, it's not really that good aerodynamically. The wind pushes on the front of the canopy and causes the pitch to be deeper than it really is actually. So it's not good in wind. You'll see a lot of turbulence with it. It'll be bouncing up and down as it slices through the wind. And if you're pitching forward and the wind's blowing, the wind's going to push it down to the ground. And I found that happens a lot when you're flying forward. The wind will push it down and give it more pitch than you actually expected, and it'll fly and hit the ground. I actually hit the ground with this thing right here. You can see a little bit of the scrape here where I hit the ground from the impact of me hitting the ground. But I have to say it's pretty durable though, because I hit the ground pretty hard and I expected it to be cracked or something like that. But that's the only minor damage that I have, aside from the bottom of these where the landing gear would probably protect it if I had it on. I like to fly it without the landing gear, but these things are a little scraped a little, but you can barely see that. But the body on this thing really looks nice. I like the way the frame looks. The canopy is awesome. I think it's a really awesome looking quadcopter. I actually was thinking about modding this to make it better somehow. I'm not going to say exactly what I was thinking about doing, but it's an okay quad for a beginner. I think intermediate flyers would probably have a little fun with this before they start to get frustrated with the pitch and rolls, how it takes its sweet time to actually register your inputs. Oh, and also another thing, about this quad, it has a nice on and off button at the top. So that was one of the draws to this quad. I really like that about it. And the LEDs are pretty nice, but they don't really show up through the top of the canopy, through the top of the frame. It doesn't shine through the arms. So that's a negative. You would think that because I got the white version that the whole body would glow, but that's not the case with this. So this is the transmitter here. Let's look at the transmitter. The transmitter is really nice. Aside from the fact that when you go to high rates and 100% rates, this thing does continuous flipping when you give full input on the right stick. And that's a huge drawback for me. I don't like that. I think a lot of advanced flyers are not going to like that either. We would rather have 100% rates to be able to fly hard, because that's what 100% rates are for, is what I thought anyway. That's just my thoughts on it. But it's a really nice transmitter. You can actually switch the transmitter up. It's switchable. You can switch it from different modes, from mode 1 to mode 4. You can switch this to. And also the rudder here is the stick is ratcheted. You can actually switch this and have it with resistance here, so it self-centers, or you can put it all the way to the top and have it so you don't feel the ratchetness on there, and it's still self-centering. So a few different options you can use with this. This one here is self-centering, but then you can put it to the middle and have it ratcheted, but it's still self-centering. And then you can push it to the top and have it not self-centering anymore, but it'll be ratcheted. So yeah, this transmitter is really nice in its options that you can pick with it. Also, hit down here, there's a little limiter here. There's a dial where you can dial up. This actually controls the throttle, so you can limit the throttle so that it doesn't rise too fast. I think this is a great beginner's quad. A lot of the options that they give you for selection makes me think that this is a great quad for beginners. So you can actually limit the throttle so that when you go up on the throttle, it won't just fly up in the air out of control. It'll it'll go up slower if you limit this throttle. But then you can adjust it with this dial all the way up to 100% throttle. So, and you also have your throttle trims here. So pretty nice. This transmitter also only has buttons here at the bottom here to switch from beginner to intermediate. But it's like you only have 2 rates, because when you flip into the advanced mode, it flips every time you give full input on the right stick. So that was something I didn't really like. There's a button down here where you can switch aileron and rudder. You can swap them that's for switching from mode 1 to mode 2 and all of that stuff. So that's pretty nice. The flip buttons are over here on the top. If you have the camera attached to it, it'll control the camera instead of flipping. And this button here, I believe it flips automatically. And this also has headless mode on it. So if you hold the button down, it'll go into headless mode. And the headless mode works pretty nice. But I'm not a big fan of headless mode. So I don't really like headless mode, but it does have it. It seems like all the quads that are coming out nowadays are having headless mode included. Let's see, the transmitter takes it takes 3 AA batteries, so that's nice that you only have to use 3 AA batteries, and it has a nice little display here. Also, this quad comes with a huge 750 milliamp hour battery, so I was getting really long flight times with this quadcopter. I was flying it hard, and I was getting about close to 12 minutes of flight with this thing. So this is a really nice flyer. It's really efficient, and it's really efficient in its flying. But it's I guess it's that one problem that I have with it, with the responsiveness. But for the most part, it flies pretty nice. It's really fast. I can say this quad is really fast. That the aerodynamics might have something to do with that. But the one problem that I have with it is just its responsiveness. How they tried to smoothen it out. It seems like that ruins the experience for me, as well as the constant flips on 100% modes, and 100% rates does the constant flipping. And also, I haven't been able to bind this quad to any of the other radios that I have, so that's pretty disappointing, because I was hoping that I would be able to bind this quad to another transmitter and get rid of the 100% rate constant flipping with the full input, but I was unsuccessful with that. It has a nice battery hatch here where you insert the battery, and it has a large enough hole for you to stick the wires out of here, so you don't have to worry about cramming the wires up in there. That's all I really have to say about it. It has nice lighting, blue in the front and orange in the back. A lot of people really picky about that. They like to have the blue or green in the front and the red in the back, and this one obliges. The landing gear is removable. However, there's no way for the quad to land without the landing gear, but I'm just going to remove this to let you guys see how it looks without the landing gear. I like how low profile it looks. You know, I like that look there. How it's really flat, and then the stems don't stick up that high, so it's really down low and looks really sleek and awesome. I really like that about the quad. Oh, another thing I have to let you guys know, this quad came in just a plain box. Well, you saw the unboxing, so you know that it didn't come with the commercial box. It just came in a plain brown box with some foam in there with cutouts for the quad and the transmitter. It comes with prop guards. The prop guards are the same prop guards that are coming with most of the quads this size. This one, you don't have to use any screws to screw it in or anything, so you just pop them on. They work pretty well. It's a little hard to snap them in, but once you get them all snapped in, it stays pretty well. I think it looks awesome with the prop guards, but I don't use prop guards, so I didn't do any flights really on camera with them on. So the prop guards, you just push them down in here and the little holes there, and they stay once you snap them in. So let me get them all on so you guys can see what it looks like with the prop guards on. So yeah, the prop guards are on now. This is how it looks with the prop guards, and it comes with a USB charger, and it has that type of connector on the battery. And so let's check this thing out in flight, see how it flies. Okay, so this is the indoor flight demo of the MJX X400, and I figured since I'm going to be this part of the testing we're going to be doing indoors, so I might as well keep the prop guards on. Maybe we might keep the prop guards on outside as well. But let's get it down. So yeah, let's start off on low rates. So this is low rates with it. This is your pitch. It's pretty docile. A nice setting, I think, for beginners here. And this is the yaw. So yaw, kind of slow. Let's go right to intermediate rate. So this is the yaw. The yaw is a little faster. and to give you a little more pitch. And as you can see, it's sort of smoothed out the pitch with it. And so let's try it on 100% rates. This is 100% rates. You have to be careful because it's auto flip. You see that? As soon as you give full input in any direction, it'll flip. So let's get off that mode. See if I can get a little circuit going in here. Okay, so that should be enough for indoors. Let's take it outside real quick. Okay, so we're outdoors with it. We're still on low rate. You can see the lights. Pretty nice. It's showing up in the daylight. Okay, we're in intermediate rates now. You can see the pitch gets nice, but it won't pitch all the way, so that's the best of a funnel you can probably get there. Not really going to funnel good for you. So yeah, that's the best of a funnel you're probably going to get. Okay, so this quad also has headless mode. Let's try out the headless mode. If I remember correctly, you hold down this button here to go in headless mode. Let's see. Okay, we're in headless now. You can see headless starts. The heading is the direction you have it when you actually plug it in. So the headless mode works pretty nice, I've found. On forward, back towards me, to my left there, to the right. And so the headless works pretty well. If headless is something you guys like. Let's see if we can get it out of headless. Hold the button down. Comes out of headless. Gives you 2 beats to let you know you're out of it. And so yeah. Fly it back and forth a little so you guys can see that. Check out the speed of it. Also, I have the landing gear off of it. I think it looks a lot cooler. A lot more cool without the landing gear, I think. It's flat, low profile look. But I think its looks is also its demise in performance outdoors, because I think this flat body here interferes with its aerodynamics. It gives it a lot of turbulence and wind, but on a nice day like now, it's fairly nice out here. Just a light wind, so it can handle that with no problem. Let's go inside. Oh, let me show you guys the throttle limiting. Okay, so I got the throttle limiter all the way down to its lowest point. You see how slow it rises? Now let's turn the throttle all the way up. So it goes up a little faster. So yeah, sometimes if you catch it quick, you can get it to do a nice funnel. Pretty hard to get it. You can't get it to do any deep funnels. Well, let's just slide around a little bit until LVC warning. Let's try the high rate flip. Okay, some people might like that auto flip there, but I don't like that because you can't fly it hard in 100% rates without accidentally flipping. See that? I wasn't trying to flip there and it flipped on me. Let's get out of that mode. Okay, so we're back in intermediate mode. So this is the highest rate that you're going to be able to fly it normally or aggressively. And the yaw rate is pretty good. The yaw rate is not bad. Not the fastest yaw rate, but not slow. So if it had a little more, if it had a lot more responsiveness and the pitch was a little deeper, then you'll be able to do some nice maneuvering. But the way that they have it, you really can't do a lot of maneuvering with this quad. A pretty nice quad for beginners, I think, though. Intermediate flyers will probably have a good time for a little while with this, but they might want to move on to something a little more responsive. There's some forward funnels. That's a nice funnel there. Sometimes if you catch it right off of a fast forward flight and you start a funnel, you can get it because the wind actually blows down on the top of the canopy, it seems, to make the pitch even deeper when you're flying fast forward. The range is pretty nice on this. Some people have been complaining about dropouts, but I haven't had any real dropouts. Only time I've crashed this into the ground is from wind blowing it down. So it's a pretty easy flyer. The yaw rate is definitely faster than the Cyma. Wait, let's look at that yaw rate. Yeah, it's a little faster, not by much. It's close. Just trying to fly it to LVC. You get a pretty nice flight with this, and there's the LVC warning there. It's got a little weak, but you're still able to fly it back to yourself. Pretty nice LVC warning. Bird up there in the tree seems to think so as well. Let's just fly it until it drops. That was a nice funnel there. Cool looking craft. So that's it. The MJX X400. Thanks for watching.